It's the Odd Drunk Podcast, a very strange podcast. The drunkest show in the world. It's Jackson and Colton talking out of their ass. We don't care as long as drinks are poured. Sometimes we have our friends here. We will talk about anything. We don't care as long as we have beer. And if you let that whiskey ring. The Odd Drunk Podcast.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to the Odd Drunk News Network, number 2.
Number 2.
Because
Is this? We've only done one of these, right?
yeah,
Okay. Hey.
are you gonna talk in your news voice this whole time?
Right. I should do. I gotta get into it. Okay. April 21st, 2021. The Odd Drunk News Network. Here with you is Jackson. I was gonna come up with like a cool
The Machine.
Jackson the Machine.
Hey,
And
you didn't hear anything.
I was
No, we're pretty transparent. I'm not worried about it, but
I was trying to
I don't want people to know. I don't want people to
come
know.
up with a cool name.
I don't want people to know my cool names.
The Machine.
That I just came up on the spot.
Yeah,
It's not 'cause I'm a
You
robot.
want to know what my cool name is? That I established this earlier today.
What's that?
My cool name is Colton doesn't set the kitchen on fire.
Why do we need to know that you don't set kitchens on fire?
I really want people to know that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
Just, there's been some doubt going around. No, that was a conversation from earlier. Anyway, we're talking about the news. There's lots of
The most important news.
lots of news always happening.
Uh-huh.
Every day there's more news. It seems like it just doesn't stop coming.
News it don't stop coming and it don't stop coming. Hit the ground running.
I don't remember the words.
Didn't make sense to live for fun, but your brain gets smart and your head gets dumb. So much to lose, so much to say. Okay, okay. We don't want to get striked. Smash Mouth, please. Or your record company, whatever. Don't strike us. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on.
I don't remember the words. I'll be totally honest.
How can you not remember the words? But yeah, we're here to talk the news. The most important news.
Yeah.
Comic book and movie and pop culture news. And Florida man news.
Florida man news, video game news,
The best news.
the best.
The truth.
Yeah.
You only get the truth here from the Odd Drunk News Network. Not really, but you only get the most important things. Not really. But we're not here to talk about sad and real and current important news. No. Come on.
No,
What do you
we're
think?
not lame.
Yeah, we're not lame like CNN or MSNBC or Fox. What's
NPR.
Sunday morning? No, they're pretty cool. I like Sunday morning because it's like really wholesome.
Oh yeah.
They'll just have a video. They'll just have a news segment on sunflowers or like
Oh yeah, I like that.
a beekeeper. You know, they'll interview a beekeeper and like at the end of it, they'll show a cool picture. I used to watch them a lot with my dad, but
Yeah, I didn't watch the news much when I was a kid because I thought it was boring. So when my parents were watching it, I'd go play my Game Boy.
well, I would at least watch Jeopardy.
Yeah.
With my parents
Speaking
and
of
compete with
Jeopardy
them.
news,
Well,
have you heard the news about Jeopardy?
Well, he died.
Well, yeah, Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek, yeah.
He died. And guess who is going to at least guest host Jeopardy?
Sean Connery's ghost.
LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton.
Reading Rainbow.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's been people have really wanted him to take over as the host. And he is going to guest host it at least. Which, that's pretty cool.
That should be cool. Yeah, I think they should just have different hosts.
Yeah. That's what they're doing for now.
And not like one guy, because it's really hard to replace Trebek. He was 80 years old.
Yeah.
He died back in
Like last year.
not super long ago.
Yeah.
Died back in November 8th. The age of 80.
Yeah.
He looked good for his age.
He did. I did not realize how old he was, and then I realized.
I thought he was like in his 60s, but then again, he's been around forever.
Yeah,
So-
he's looked the same my entire life. Oh,
Yeah.
so. I
Yeah,
don't-
he's always looked the same.
he's just always been old.
A lot like Steve Harvey.
yeah,
He's,
Steve
if I
Harvey.
saw him without the mustache, I would lose it.
That would be weird. Dr. Phil would be weird too.
Oh my God.
Imagine him with a. Imagine at one point in the history of the world.
Well, we
There-
don't know that Dr. Phil, he could be the same age forever. He could be some kind of,
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, imagine at one point there has existed a Dr. Phil, a version of him that had a full head of hair and no mustache. But now you make that point, and I know
That's
I'm
what he wants you to
I'm
think.
doubting myself now. If
think
that
about
ever
it. Dr.
happened.
Phil has always looked the same. He's been 65 years old his whole life.
Not too old,
Just old enough.
but old enough that you let your guard
When
down.
he was young, he was in his 50s.
Yeah.
So he was born in his 50s.
yeah,
and
he's
He was born on television in an interview. That's his
Yeah.
origin story.
yeah. He was conducting an
And
interview.
he interviewed his mother
Yeah, his mother had been invited on
to the show.
to the show to do an interview, and she was like,
And a 55-year-old
"It's
man.
this new show, the Dr. Phil show," and she was like, "I've never heard of this show." And they're like, "It's the first episode," and she showed up, and suddenly he kind of just popped into existence,
yeah.
and was
At
like,
least we hope that's how
"I
it
was like,
happened.
hey, I'm your son."
He.
And she was like, "What? I'm only 20."
Well, I like. Okay, I like.
I
I
have
like.
a son that's 50 years old, and he's like, "Don't worry, I was just born right now. You didn't even notice." It was just real easy and quick. And then he interviewed her,
Yeah,
and yeah,
and that actually was the Catch Me Outside girl.
yeah,
So it's just this weird cycle.
really weird.
There's a lot of strange Dr. Phil lore out there.
He is Dr. Phil an SCP?
He very well could be. That reminds me, I would love to cover SCPs properly at some point.
We should. We've talked about them, but we've never really covered them properly.
I mean, not even remotely. I mean,
No.
we used them way back in straight to VHS, which I want to play again.
Oh yeah.
But ever since COVID really blew up, and then it's that, and then it's also just hard to get people together anyways to play it.
Yeah. You can. Yeah.
Hopefully this summer we'll have more luck with like D&D and stuff like that, because I miss it.
Yeah. So
Before we get into the real news, not fake news, okay?
yeah, very much real.
The Parlor. What's that? Is it Parlor? The social media that Trump's
yeah, Parlor.
into?
I don't know if he's on it, but his followers are.
I think he moved there because
Did
he
he?
got banned from Twitter. And
Yeah.
I would. I think
And
maybe. Hear me out.
He got banned from Twitter and Facebook, and I heard he tried to like use his cousin or niece or someone's like account to like sneak his way back in
Oh,
Facebook.
really?
And Facebook caught it and shut it down.
That's great.
Yeah.
I would love for us to infiltrate Parler and then give the scoop on the news network. The things we find, our findings there.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I wonder what it's even like to join it. Like, I wonder if there's like gonna be like a weird questionnaire. Like,
do you have to pass a background check where they check how many guns you own? Well, I mean, I doubt it's hard to join because the point of Parler is that you can kind of do what you want on there.
well, and also, and a lot of conservatives and the right and Trump supporters are going there. Oh. This is a different Parler. Whoops.
Oh,
I don't want that on my computer.
Don't go there.
How do you... Okay, that's not a good sign if you're trying to find their website and you get to a porn.
Did they get shut down though?
Luckily, this is one of the ones that says you must be 18. I mean, I'm over 18, but I still don't want to see that. They must spell it a weird way, or did I spell it a weird way? Or is it just an app? Is it not a website?
I think it's an app.
Here it is. It's Parler with an ER.
Yeah.
So let's see what it looks like.
Oh, Apple's letting them back on the App Store now.
So, real conversation on world's premier free speech. Because, Facebook and Twitter doesn't allow enough free speech.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too political because we're not supposed to.
This sounds terrible.
It does look terrible. Really poor website design. But I don't want to get too political because we're not supposed to, whatever. I mean, you guys know us by now. If you haven't figured out,
where we lie on the political spectrum.
just by listening to us, then I'm sorry, then you haven't really been listening.
We try not to be political, but we also don't hide our political opinions that much.
Something I want to say is that, and everyone should know this, free speech does not mean speech without consequences.
Yeah.
You can't go around promoting hate and inciting a riot at the Capitol and expect everyone to be okay with it and expect not to be banned.
Well, and also free speech.
So on and so forth.
Free speech under the Constitution doesn't mean all speech is free. If you incite violence, that is not protected. Well, like you can be arrested for that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's
well, if you yell fire in a movie theater, the classic example.
Yeah.
That
not
type of thing.
Everything is protected. Just a lot of things.
Yeah, people have this idea, you should be able to say anything you want. It's like, no.
The point of free speech in our Constitution is to protect stuff like journalism and to be able to criticize the government and stuff like that.
No, exactly, and that's important.
Because the Founding Fathers really valued that because they just did that to the British.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to be hypocrites and say, now you can't do that to us.
No, exactly.
They valued those principles. It's not the free speech was not meant to protect your right to
be an asshole.
Basically. Or yeah, the Founding Fathers recognized that some free speech can be dangerous.
Sorry if you.
Whoa,
that was a noise. Sorry about that.
What are you doing?
I was just adjusting my mic. And it just decided to freak out. But freak out.
What?
Freak out. That's the only words I know.
I don't know the words.
Is that the... Oh, you don't know enough words. I know some words at least, Colton. Come on. But anyways, let's talk about what we're drinking real quick before we jump. And before we jump into more controversy. It's not. But so I got the remainder of my Odell Brewing mix pack. It's one of their mix packs. They have a couple different ones. They have an IPA one and This is just kind of their sampler kind of mixed pack deal.
Pretty good little mix pack.
And you should know we've had Odell Brewing a while back, but we've had them before. The
We don't have them a whole lot.
Pulp IPA, I believe, way back in Conspiracies. So
Yeah.
but we got some different ones here. So right now I'm drinking the Kindling Golden Ale, and it's not bad at all.
Very nice. I'm drinking I'm trying the Mountain Standard IPA.
What do you think?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty
It's a
decent.
pretty solid IPA.
The Golden Ale I'm drinking is one of the most inoffensive beers I've had in a long time. Just no nonsense beer.
Just beer. Yeah.
So, and I appreciate that.
Sometimes that's what I want.
And it's especially good because
That's why one of my go-to beers I drink is like Fat Tire. I really like Fat Tire because it's
that's
very inoffensive.
Yeah.
It's just beer.
I don't need to be offended by my beers.
Sometimes I want to push myself and try new.
Well, sometimes you want it to challenge your
my palate,
challenge your taste buds.
and my taste buds.
You know,
And sometimes I just want beer and I don't want anything else.
sometimes you want your beer to be a punch in the balls.
Yeah.
But
And
other
sometimes,
times you want it to be a soft.
like caress of the beard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I started with the word caress and I didn't know how to make that.
Sometimes you
sound
want it to
manly.
be a lumberjack softly caressing your beard.
Yeah,
Can we not agree anymore?
that sounds really
Any less?
weird.
And sometimes you want it to be a lumberjack chopping a block of wood in front of you.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes you want it to be a lumberjack,
But you want it to be a lumberjack either
Chopping-
way.
into your neck with an axe.
And also, I feel like you assume I'm just talking about a male. No, it could be a female lumberjack. So,
Yeah.
male, female, whatever. We don't care.
We've
well-
also got the part of the mix pack here, the Sippin' Pretty Fruited Sour.
Oh, yeah?
I've not tried that. Have you tried that?
I have tried it. It's kind of herbal tasting. It's kind of flowery almost.
Interesting.
But, I mean, it's mostly fruit punchy,
Okay.
but a sour. But it
Yeah.
has like this kind of... I can't tell you what flower it is, but it tastes floral.
One of these
It's
days,
kind of weirdly fragrant.
one of these days, we gotta get some fruit punch, get some like Hawaiian punch, and just mix that with like
Hibiscus.
moonshine
Oh, well.
and
yeah.
just
You know, that works.
yeah.
So yeah, we got some cool stuff to talk about, fun, laid back stuff. We're not going to get serious except for earlier.
This is a lazy episode.
You're a lazy episode.
Thank you.
Everyone leave Colton in the comment in the DMs, his DMs, that he's a lazy episode, but he's a great man.
Thank you.
But poorly planned episode. I mean, that's kind of our life. Anyways, let's get into this. So, if you remember way back in our first Odd Drunk News segment, or whatever you want to call it,
I do not remember that.
I remember that we talked about Florida man, or
Right.
men, and Florida
Well,
women too.
That's pretty essential. I mean, when it comes to news, what's more worthy of knowing about than Florida
Yeah.
news?
So I think I would start us out there, ease into the news. Well, actually, that's running through the front door like you do in Red Dead into the news, and then punching a man. That's Florida man news
Just
for you.
burst to the front door and punch a guy.
That's immediately showing. Okay, that's immediately showing up to your local bar plastered. Just that's what it is. That's what Florida man represents.
I've done that.
Except I think a Florida man would show up to his local bar with a pet alligator, plastered.
Yeah.
Alligator's probably been drinking too.
Yeah, it's the alligator is plastered.
Oh,
The Florida man, I mean, he might be, but he don't need to be. He's got a drunk alligator. Drunk alligator does the heavy lifting in this situation.
oh yeah. So yeah, We're going to talk about some Shang-Chi. That trailer just dropped. Some Marvel news, some Rocky news, some
Oh, yeah.
a Lizzo Chris Evans scoop. We got some stuff.
I had to ask Jackson who Lizzo was before we started recording this.
She's the rapper. She plays the flute. My girlfriend loves her. I love her, honestly. I listen to her songs. It's great. It's actually funny stuff.
I actually just legitimately didn't know who that was.
I don't know. I'm pretty
That's
sure she's...
I'm out of the loop sometimes.
I find her songs quite funny, actually.
Yeah.
I couldn't name a song because I don't pay attention to song titles, especially for stuff I don't actively listen to. But yeah she's fun, and she's a national treasure. But yeah, let's start out with some Florida Man scoops. So what do you got for us, Colton?
Okay. So, this is from back in January.
Okay.
So a little older, but 2021, because it's, last time we did an episode like this, it was sometime in 2020. So, a Tampa man, we're getting really specific here.
So, okay,
Tampa.
wait. So, the Florida Man Tampa subtype?
The subspecies.
Subspecies.
Tampa man.
I don't know much about Florida or Tampa.
I don't know where Tampa is.
But it's in Florida. I do know that.
I don't know where.
I think it's southern Florida. Correct us if we're wrong. Any Florida listeners?
I can find
Hey, if
out.
any Florida men are listening, hit us up.
I can find out right now. I just gotta zoom out. It's like mid Florida,
Mid Florida?
West Coast Florida, the Gulf of Mexico.
Ah.
Yeah, it's not too far from Orlando.
But anyways, we're looking at the Tampa type.
The Tampa subtype.
The Florida men are kind of like Pokemon. You have different types.
Yeah.
You have Tampa types, Tallahassee types,
Yeah.
Miami types. Those are the...
For example, a Miami type beats a Tampa type in battle, but a Tampa type beats an Orlando type in battle.
Oh, yeah,
And
definitely.
vice versa. It's a whole very complex.
The Orlando types, they're the ones
People-
getting drunk at Disney World.
Florida man trainers spend their entire careers, around this complex web of, Florida men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A Tampa man hospitalized after setting himself on fire while allegedly trying to burn down home, police say.
Okay.
So Tampa police, and this is Fox 13. Tampa police say Scott Anthony Massa, 51, was hospitalized with serious injuries after burning himself while trying to set a home on fire early Sunday morning. So it doesn't say he was setting his own home on fire. Sounds like he was trying to commit arson.
That does sound like a classic case of arson.
Police say Massa broke a window at a home located at the 1600 block west of Lawn Street around 5:40 a.m. Then tried to throw a bucket full of accelerant onto the home, but it ignited, exploded, and set himself on fire. So he tried to throw a bucket of the gas,
Oh, wow.
fuel, onto the fire, and it caught on fire before it could come out of the bucket.
Was he hospitalized, or did he die, or what happened?
He was hospitalized, but he did not die.
Well, he is a Tampa type. They do have high fire resistance.
They are.
That's
fire
probably
resistant.
why he tried that.
Yeah. He was pretty confident, and he was not wrong to be confident about that. He was wrong to do it because
He was
that's
really wrong to do
that's
it.
arson.
Yeah,
But
and that's a really horrible
but
crime.
he was not wrong to be confident in his ability to withstand fire. He just maybe took a little too much fire.
Before we get to my Florida man scoop, I just want to say I got to take the shirt off.
A little hot in here.
It is hot. That's me taking my shirt off.
Aggressive.
It is not going to be fun this summer. We're just going to be cooking like a...
Yeah, our studio room here is
It is a black box of sadness.
yeah. There's one window, but it does not lead outside.
Nope.
And yeah, there's a lot of
Well, at least the hallway is kind of outside.
yeah, it's aerated.
It's aerated, to say the least.
But we're surrounded on all sides by more building.
Yeah.
So we're in an apartment building recording this.
And Danny DeVito, he lightens up the mood, but he still doesn't make any less hot. In fact, if he was real, he'd be roasting like a suckling pig right now,
Yeah.
as I am. And it, it's 54 degrees here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be fun this summer, to say the least. Anyways, back to Florida man news. So I got a good one.
Okay.
This is from clickorlando.com.
Ooh, I love that website.
They have podcasts. They have sports.
What else does anyone need in this world? Podcasts and sports.
They have weather, traffic.
Weather. Wow.
They have all the things you could desire.
That's all the things I use on a daily basis.
So this guy just looks like,
Oh, that's a quintessential. Florida man.
That looks like an Orlando type to me. Or maybe a Miami type. I don't know. I'm not an expert. There's trained professionals out there.
Yeah,
We're not trying to take their place. We're just reporting the news. Most important news. So Florida man pulls out dank gummies instead of ID after nearly hitting gas pump, deputies say.
Oh, nice.
420, bro. This is back in March. It would have been great if it was on 420, which you told me something about 420 that I think everyone should know, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So Florida man in Collier County, Florida, I mean, that's assumed.
Yeah.
Hit a gas pump, pulled out a package of dank gummies instead of his driver's license to show a deputy who was trying to help him, according to the Collier County Sheriff's Office. Records show Demisio Lopez saw the deputy and immediately asked for help, calling AAA because his car wouldn't start, even though his keys were not in ignition at the time. So he was just blazing. Which, don't do that while you're driving at all, okay?
No, yeah.
But it is funny that he thought his car wouldn't start when he didn't have the keys in.
The other day I was driving home, and as I was driving, I kind of did that thing where you pat your pockets to make sure everything's there.
Oh, I always do that.
And then I was like, where are my keys? And I was like, oh, right. Dumbass. You're driving.
Ignition. Yeah. So the deputy then asked for Lopez's driver's license, so he started rifling through his pockets again, and this time pulled out a small green package labeled dank gummies with cannabis infused written on it. The deputy asked Lopez if Lopez just pulled out THC gummies, and Lopez claimed it was normal candy, but when he was asked to hand over the package, the deputy saw that it was labeled containing 500 milligrams of THC. That's depending on how many were in there, that's fairly strong.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Yeah, it's a very strong.
Let's say you have 10 of those in there. That's 50 apiece.
I do not.
That would have to be a 20 pack. Come on.
I don't have a high tolerance.
Well, you lose your tolerance really fast.
Yeah.
At least I've noticed. Also, we did think about doing a 420 thing, but we're in school. Like, drinking once a week is enough.
Yeah.
And even then, you probably noticed we've been toning down on the drinking.
Yeah.
But you've also probably noticed we're just insane. Because we're not even,
Yeah.
we barely had a beer tonight. We're already going down some solid tangents. I mean, I think we're insane. Oh. So, small baggie of cocaine was found on his person.
Oh, he was hiding more stuff.
When he was taken into custody. He was facing charges of possession of cocaine and possession of controlled substance. So, next time... Also, I don't know how his license got confused for a bottle of THC candies or just a bottle or
was
anything.
it a bottle or a baggie?
It was like one of those little, like a pill bottle, but with the candies in it, that type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he must have already been stoned.
He was definitely obviously stoned.
Oh, right,
because he thought his car was. He
Forgetting
called
his
AAA, even though the keys weren't in ignition. But the fact that he was so stoned that either he confused it for his ID, or he just pulled that out first because he had too much shit in his pockets. Either way, it did not end well for him.
Yeah.
But that's actually a relatively tame Florida man one. It's not one of the Florida man.
To be honest, some Florida man news stories are not actually that fun.
Come on. They're pretty fun for the most part.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
Like, here we go. I have a list, and I won't go through all these, but here's a good one. That one's just cool. Okay. This one's just unfortunate. Once bitten by an alligator, a Florida man gets bit by an 8-foot lemon shark.
Oh.
Justin Stuhler, 38,
bad luck.
was on vacation in the Florida Keys with his family when he tangled with an 8-foot lemon shark. Stuhler looks at his encounter with the lemon shark just as another Florida experience. It was the best way to have a bad experience. I mean, he was in the Florida Keys at least. It's not as bad as getting bit by an alligator.
Optimism. I like it.
Oh no. That's just messed up. Florida man steals parrot from pet store by putting the bird in his pocket.
Oh.
A man with Disney tattoos was arrested after he stole a parrot named Lapis from a Venice pet store by putting the bird in his shorts pocket.
That's not...
Oh, they look like cargo shorts. But still. Yeah. Don't put birds in your pocket.
Yeah, that's animal cruelty.
That is animal cruelty. Here's one good one. Here's a good one. This is legitimately a funny, good, pretty standard Florida man, but it's a classic type. Florida man tried to escape cops by stripping naked. Ribeyes fell out of his pants.
I mean, that's cool.
So he started stripping and steaks just tumbled out of his pants. Police said the 28-year-old man from DeLand, I don't know, stole 4 packs of ribeye steaks valued at $41.24.
Nice.
One more. This is a highly trained Florida man. Florida man attacked a tow truck driver with a pair of nunchucks. Defending his Kia Spectra from being towed in a Tallahassee parking garage, a Florida man attacked the truck driver with a pair of nunchucks and fled the scene. So I imagine he whipped the nunchucks out, maybe hit him a bit, or maybe not even hit him, just showed his skills, and then ran. That's pretty good. That's my favorite one so far.
I love it.
Oh, I found another good. This isn't a Florida man, but it's a Florida thing. Well, it's kind of Florida man. Cops called over woman screaming for help. Turns out it was Florida man's pet parrot. Was it the same one that stuffed it in his pocket? Is that why he was screaming for help?
Oh.
We will never know.
Conspiracies.
His parrot was named Rambo.
That's a good name for a
That
parrot.
is a good name.
I like that.
So yeah, there's your daily dose of Florida man, unless you have any more.
No, I don't have any more at the moment.
That beer is pretty good. I already finished it.
Nice.
I've been having a hard time finishing beers lately because I haven't had as nearly as much, like at all. I haven't even kept beer at my house until this week.
Oh, here's a Florida man, a Leopard Malls man.
All right.
Who paid $150 for a full contact experience at a backyard zoo.
There's so many problems with this.
And a South.
That reminds me of a Tiger King thing, just having a backyard zoo with a leopard in it.
Yeah. Florida man gives wife Valentine's Day gift she will never forget. He named a shark after her.
And also, if you think we're not getting this news from a credible source, it's from usatoday.com.
Yeah.
So, suck it. Okay? All right. So, let's move on. Let's move on to the Chris Evans Lizzo scoop.
Okay. So
this one's pretty fun.
yeah.
So there's Lizzo.
Okay.
She's always had a crush on Chris Evans.
Who
She's
doesn't?
always, I mean, yeah, right? He is a perfect man.
Yeah.
Okay, so over the weekend, the Good as Hell singer admitted that she got a little tipsy and sent a DM to Captain America star Chris Evans. She also gave her fans some solid advice in the caption, writing, "Don't drink and DM, kids." For legal... She was obviously drunk because instead of purposes, she said, "For legal porpoises, this is a joke." In the short video, the 32-year-old gives her followers a glimpse at her DM, which consisted of 3 emojis that seemed to suggest that she was taking her best shot. A gust of wind, a woman playing handball, and a basketball. She said, "The reason I'm upset about this one is because I know I'm not going to be able to marry him, and honestly, it hurts me to the core. Because damn, Papa, he a rare breed. No comparing, like Chris." Well, so it took a bit for Evans to reply, but he did, because he is Captain America,
Yeah.
and he is wholesome. He said, "No shame in the drunk DM," and added a kissing face emoji. Evans continued saying, "God knows I've done worse on this app," with a facepalm emoji. That's the news we want, right?
I like that. Do you think we should send Chris Evans a DM?
drunk DM?
A drunk DM? If we get to 1,000 downloads on this episode, we will do that.
That would
Yeah.
I would do a lot more than that. But
Yeah.
So the follow-up post has been viewed over 7.7 million times. Lizzo filmed herself reacting to the actor's message, and she was evidently tickled pink that he took the time to respond.
I love that. That's awesome.
And now there's a link to Chris Evans talking about quarantine and the Patriots without Tom Brady. But I don't have time for that. And I do not care about Tom Brady.
I don't care about Tom Brady either.
Good for him winning all those Super Bowls. Gosh.
I know he said sports was important at the beginning of the episode.
That doesn't mean Tom Brady is.
But, yeah.
No, I mean, okay. Tom Brady, yeah, he's one of the best of all time in football.
Yeah, but he's not as good as like, I don't know where I was going.
You don't know football.
I don't know football.
You know football.
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 Yeah.
You know that,
I
I think.
a bit.
I assume.
A bit. I'm not an expert.
You know baseball. I know you know baseball.
I'm also not an expert, but
Watching
I
baseball.
do watch a lot of baseball. That's really the only sport I watch nowadays. I don't really watch anything else.
Dodgers. I know you love the Dodgers.
I do love the Dodgers. They're the best team. Fight me.
Yeah. I like the Dodgers, but I mean I'm not real into baseball. I'm really I guess I'll go with my dad's team, the Cubs.
Boo.
But he also, I mean, he grew up liking the Dodgers because he grew up in South California. But
So here's the thing. When it comes to sports teams in a league, I believe you are allowed to, in your life, switch teams one time.
he did technically switch baseball teams once.
Yeah. So you're allowed to do that.
But you can
Only-
still like other teams.
You can like other
But you have
teams,
the one team
but
that you're dedicated
your
to.
main team. You're
Yeah.
only allowed to do that in per league once in your whole life.
And then with NFL football, pro football, my dad is always Steelers. And I like the Steelers.
Where are they from?
Pittsburgh
right.
Steelers. Yeah. So, so you got anything? You got anything before I get to my next thing? My next bit.
Do I have anything?
Your thing might be one of my things. I don't know.
I don't think I have anything.
Don't steal my things. Just some quick kind of release roundup news. So Mortal Kombat comes out this Friday.
Oh, shit.
It comes out today, I guess, because that's how episode releases work. So we have already watched that by now, most likely. I can't promise a movie review on it because we're kind of trying to chill out on movie reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know,
But we might
maybe.
we might talk about it at some point. But
yeah. Because I bet it will be fun. I've seen the trailer. It looks pretty dope.
yeah, see,
I love the fight scenes.
I tried my best to not get excited for this movie because video game movies and Mortal Kombat movies.
Oh, the first Mortal Kombat movie was rad.
yeah,
Was it good?
No, but it was
No.
pretty rad.
It was rad.
But then the second one was not rad.
It was not rad or good.
Or good.
And it's not bad enough to like be good.
Yeah, but you know,
The first one
Not
has
a-
the dude from Highlander in it. He's Raiden. I
yeah.
forget his name.
Oh, I don't
that
remember
actor.
his name, but
he's
I
pretty
love-
awesome.
He's amazing. Highlander is a fantastic movie.
Highlander commentary?
I would love.
I
to
don't
do
know.
that.
Maybe.
Yeah. Highlander is amazing. But no, I try not to get my hopes up for this, but I can't help but like think it looks pretty rad.
From what I've seen, it's gonna be rad. We know
Yeah,
that.
it looks rad. That's all
I would be
want.
shocked if
That's all I want. From
if I
a
don't,
Mortal Kombat
you know,
movie.
if I'm not done with the movie and I don't think it's rad, then there's an issue.
Yeah, that's
Because I saw a scene with Sub-Zero fighting Scorpion, and he pulls like a blood icicle out of him and then stabs him with his own blood icicle.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And he says, "I'm Sub-Zero." Like, it's pretty
Yeah.
dope.
It
And-
sounds pretty.
The costumes are very akin to modern Mortal Kombat, but I think that's a good choice, especially to modernize it, to make it more accessible.
Yeah, I think it works. I think it looks like it will.
It looks like there's a new character that's like an MMA fighter. I hope he's just
I hope it's not just.
I hope
Conor
he's just like
McGregor.
I hope he's just a cannon fodder guy that just gets destroyed.
Oh, if that's the case, I hope it is Conor McGregor. Just straight up, just Conor McGregor cameo.
Tries
in
to
the movie,
fight like
plays
Liu Kang.
Yeah, plays himself, goes to fight Liu Kang, gets his spine ripped out.
Well, Liu Kang wouldn't spine rip out people. Okay, he fights Sub-Zero. He does the
Okay,
spine
yeah.
rip out.
Right. Yeah.
Why do you not like Conor McGregor so much? You think he's just overrated
Oh,
or just an asshole?
He's just an asshole, I think.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally, I would say fight me here, but I don't want to fight Conor McGregor.
I don't think the both of us. I mean, maybe if we're really drunk, because then we won't feel the hits.
No, I think even then.
But even then,
I think maybe if we had weapons, but then that's crossing into like
that's
crossing into like illegal territory there, and I don't want to go.
well.
there.
Let's get the trash man. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
you could take him. Just
Oh yeah.
throw a trash can at him, an aluminum trash can.
Get him in the throat.
Get him in the throat. Throw some sand at him. Get a cricket in there. You know.
Yeah.
We really need to talk. Always
Pocket
Sunny.
sand.
Speaking of Always Sunny stuff, I mean, I don't have anything specific, but I know we're at least getting a season 14 and 15, I think.
Yeah, that's got to
And
make it one of the
Rob McElhenney.
longest running sitcoms of all time.
I think
at this point.
it is. I think currently even, but it definitely will be by then. But I mean, it's been around since 2004. It's
Yeah.
insane. That's before the U.S. office started, and it's still going.
outlived. The
No, I'm glad
Office.
the office ended where it did. If we want to talk about that for a second,
Yeah.
because once Steve Carell exited, which I've heard he didn't really want to.
Yeah.
His contract never got renewed, and they never gave him an offer. So he's like, well, if they aren't giving me the offer, then I'm gonna not beg for it.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, once Steve Carell left the office, I mean, it still had good moments. We still had Rainn Wilson as Dwight, and John Krasinski, our favorite here. Did you hear about the John Krasinski rumor? Oh boy.
No, I did not.
John Krasinski is making movies.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
What did you think of The Quiet Place? Speaking of John Krasinski making movies.
I thought The Quiet Place was pretty cool.
I thought it was
it was not an amazing movie, I think, but
it was the first act or two was where it shined.
yeah.
I think once we saw the monsters, it kind of took away. I like seeing the monsters in like quick flashes, like when they would take people down real
I think
quick.
it's the type of thing where he did a good setup, but didn't know how to finish the movie.
I mean, I do think the scene where he had to sacrifice himself to save his son and daughter and stuff,
Yeah.
that was pretty crazy. We got to see John Krasinski scream and get tackled by a CG alien. So
That was pretty cool.
that was. I like to think that Dwight is in a bunker in that universe, just living it up.
Yeah.
Meredith will do fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Creed is probably like friends with one of the aliens or something like that. Trades with them or something.
either that, or he's just taking them down Terminator style.
Yeah.
Or he's like out in the woods like Rambo.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Creed has been to Nam or something. Like
Yeah,
there's more to his backstory.
There's definitely something there to his backstory. He's one of my favorites.
And Michael died immediately in this universe because he doesn't know when to shut up.
Yeah.
He probably would have freaked out. And if he's not dead, it's because of Dwight.
Yeah.
In fact, I could see Dwight going out of his way to keep Michael alive, putting him in like a soundproofed room and just giving him YouTube videos.
That would be good.
But like 2009 YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Because that's all he can handle right now.
Yeah, he's not.
I don't think he could understand the new memes.
He's not capable of the new memes.
I would love to see if they ever did Office like reboot, one-off thing or special, whatever. That would be the best part, seeing Michael react to new memes.
Yeah.
But I feel like he would always be behind. Like he would just now be learning about Ugandan Knuckles and trying to understand what that is. It'd be pretty good.
That would be.
But so apparently during the pandemic, Sylvester Stallone, you know him, we all know him.
I am aware of that man.
He's been working on a new version, a new edit of Rocky 4.
Nice.
Which is one of my favorite Rocky movies just because of how over the top and crazy it is.
I like that one.
But it's just so of that era, the Cold War.
That's the one with Ivan Drago.
Yeah, with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
And he was a giant, and apparently, I think he almost killed Sylvester Stallone.
Like in real life?
No, because Stallone wanted him to actually punch him to make it realistic and stuff. Because Stallone, he was in amazing shape back then, probably on a lot of roids, like 2% body fat. But he's this tiny little man compared to Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
And Dolph Lundgren actually knew how to fight. But I heard he got really hurt, but they kept filming because that's just the Stallone for you. So Stallone revealed on Instagram that the documentary Keep Punching, The Present Meets the Past will be part of the release of the new cut of Rocky 4, which is apparently officially titled Rocky vs. Drago.
Oh.
The ultimate direct cut. I mean, that sounds, I'm excited.
I will definitely watch that.
I love Rocky stuff, and I love the Creed movies, and that's revitalized the series. What I love about Creed with Michael B. Jordan, it's what they should have done for Rocky Balboa in the first place.
Yeah.
That sequel one, I think that one's fine, but it's still really hard to buy into.
Yeah.
That a 55-year-old man, or however old he was back then, is fighting like a 30-year-old boxer.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Um,
I thought that was a stupid
I do.
movie.
Well, no, watch it again.
Yeah.
Watch it with a new lens. Watch it in the context of Creed,
Okay.
because in Creed and Creed 2, they both talk about it, but his what's his name? He's the uncle.
I don't remember.
I forget his name, but his wife dies in Rocky Balboa.
Okay.
Adrian. And then her brother dies off screen in Creed. And Rocky's all by himself. And then later on in Creed finds out he has cancer, but then Creed like supports him.
Yeah.
And seeing him become the mentor and then helping Creed, whose father was Apollo Creed, who he fought, who he was friends with, who got killed by Drago.
Okay.
It's pretty cool how they tie it all together. And Creed 2, he fights Drago's son, Creed, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Even Rocky and Drago get in an old man fight for a little bit at his restaurant or whatever.
Both Creed movies are pretty good.
I think the Creed movies are amazing. And last I heard, I think Michael B. Jordan's actually directing the third one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like Michael B. Jordan a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Directing and starring in it, just like Stallone did in the first Rocky. In the first couple, I think he only directed the first one.
I don't know.
I can't remember. But I know for sure he directed the first one. And what's crazy is they wanted another guy to be Rocky.
Oh, yeah?
Like an already A-lister actor at the time. But Stallone, he said, no, I wrote this script, and you won't have this script if I'm not Rocky. This is my movie.
I like that.
Yeah.
Playing his cards right there.
No, because they loved the script. They knew it would make tons of money, and it did. And it became a huge franchise. But he fought for him to be in the role, and I'm glad he did. Because, Stallone, he's not been in a ton of amazing movies.
No,
Especially recently. Like, Expendables, that's just silly.
Yeah, so to be honest, I don't love Stallone all that much.
How can you not love Stallone?
I don't love Stallone.
How?
I just don't.
You have to explain.
I don't have to explain.
Yeah,
I just
you do.
don't. I don't.
You have to explain to me right now.
I've always thought he was not that cool, actually. Yeah, but I do like Rocky and I like Rambo.
Dude, he was Rambo.
Yeah.
He's like the coolest action star. Are you more of a Schwarzenegger guy?
I am more of a Schwarzenegger guy. I like Schwarzenegger more.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That figures.
Arnold.
No, I love Arnold though.
His masterpieces, amazing roles, like Mr. Freeze, for example.
His greatest.
His greatest
Yeah.
role.
That's a good way to... Hey, wait. Don't ruin it. You're ruining it. That's a good way to break the ice.
Oh.
Yar. I could make a Schwarzenegger voice when I'm drunk,
I
but not sober.
I cannot do a Schwarzenegger voice.
Yar. That's kind of the energy.
That's not bad.
Yar.
Yeah, I got the energy there, yeah.
Yar. But anyways, yeah, that's happening, and that's going to be coming on Blu-ray not too long from now.
Very cool. I'll have to watch that.
I wonder... It'll probably go to some streaming platform. I don't know who has the Rocky rights. Is Rocky on HBO Max?
I don't think so.
It might be on Hulu. I think it's on Hulu, actually. But either way, yeah. It'll be cool to see a new edit of that, because I've seen the movie so much. Might as well see what a new edit could do to it. So moving on. So we have Loki.
Oh, it's on HBO Max.
The Rocky series. They have the rights.
At least the first
Warner
one
Bros?
is. At least the first movie is.
No, they probably have the rest of them,
Yeah.
unless there's a weird rights issue with some other ones.
Yeah, it's on HBO.
Nice. So before we get to the really pretty big news, at least movie news, so Black Widow is finally, we're hoping, releasing July 9th. At this point, I don't even want to see it because I'm excited. I just want to get it over with.
Yeah,
Because it's been delayed for so long.
I really kind of just don't care about Black Widow anymore.
The hype is gone.
Yeah, there's no more hype anymore. I'll watch it.
I mean, it's cool. She definitely deserves her own movie finally.
Yeah,
But here's my thing.
I like Black Widow. I like Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
But
But here's my thing. And it'll be cool seeing David Harbour be a Russian Captain America.
oh yeah, he
the
looks.
Red Guardian.
Yeah, he looks cool.
Maybe he can redeem himself from Hellboy. But
Yeah.
I'll never let that go. He's fine in Stranger Things. So
Yeah.
even though that show is degraded over time, don't add me.
I don't watch it anymore.
All I'm gonna say is first season, great. It had the Spielberg and like kind of Stephen King feel. It was great. Second
Yeah.
season, it was okay. It was fine. It had some cool moments. I love the Halloween stuff they did. And third season, it's becoming over a top like parody of itself.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. And also the second season had that weird X-Men episode with 11
yeah, that was.
in Chicago, and it had nothing to do with anything, and then it just happened once, and then like we never see those characters again
Yeah,
unless they bring them up in season 4.
I've lost all interest in that show.
But don't add us. Actually, add us. I don't care. If you have a problem, I missed the part where that's your problem. Where that's my problem. Sorry, I got the thing wrong. Anyway, but yeah, Black Widow this July.
Yeah, I'll watch it, but I've lost excitement.
And another thing about it, it's been delayed so much, but also her character is canonically dead.
Yeah, so it's not.
So it's gonna just be like, oh yeah, it'll be cool to see another adventure with her, but it's like,
I don't feel
that's
like
it.
I don't feel like it's adding too much. Or
well, it's just gonna show us how she gets replaced and how we get the new Black Widow, essentially.
oh yeah,
Unless, also coming this July, we have the Loki series with Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston,
oh yeah, I'm
which looks
excited about
really
that.
good.
Yeah.
I think that'll be an amazing pairing and an
Owen
interesting
Wilson.
pairing.
Owen Wilson.
And the fact that he's going to be in the Marvel Universe. Wow. That's going to be great. And it's going to be like time travel, multiverse, crazy stuff. Apparently it's getting multiple seasons compared to these other ones, which are just kind of one-off things, like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Which I'm loving Falcon and Winter Soldier. We got one more episode, but you haven't watched any of it, so I can't really talk about it with you.
I'm gonna binge watch it this weekend.
But Wyatt Russell plays John Walker, U.S. agent. Well, he's the new Captain America, and he's a dick. Spoiler alert. You should know that. But he's Kurt Russell's son.
Yeah,
So that does give him some credit.
some a little bit of credibility there.
Yeah. I mean, if you have any relation to Kurt Russell, you get credibility in my book. And if you're Kurt Russell, I mean, Kurt Russell for president 2024? Anybody? Would you vote for Kurt Russell?
I'm undecided. I'm not sure.
You wouldn't vote for him by default?
No, not by default.
Okay, what celebrity would you vote for by default?
Nick Cage.
Okay, hear me out. Kurt Russell for president. He's got the more wisdom, and he looks like an 1800s president, so that's pretty good. Nick Cage is his vice.
Okay.
That's a pretty good bill.
Okay, I can get behind that, yeah.
But yeah, that's great. But apparently there's a clip in the Loki trailer where we see him next to a woman on what appears to be Vormir.
Oh.
Some people say that could be Black Widow. And if they do a thing where like he just brings her back or whatever, I think that's going to take away, I don't know.
Yeah, I hope they don't use
I don't want them to be too willy-nilly.
Yeah.
I think if they bring characters back, let it be a different version at least.
Yeah.
Like from a different...
I hope they don't use the Loki show just to like retcon.
Like let's say they
stuff.
bring Tony Stark back, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
I would arguably be okay with that if it's a definitively like different version of that character.
Yeah, like a multiverse version.
Like a multiverse
Yeah.
thing. So Robert Downey Jr. so he could put like a different twist on it or something. So
Yeah.
it's not the Tony Stark. It's just a Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Or like a Arno Stark. He's the 2020 Iron Man.
Yeah.
Which is dated now. But yeah, that could be cool if they do it that way, maybe. But even then, well, I mean, if they want money, they're gonna be in it again. I mean, let's just be real, because it's a lot of money. Since we're on the Marvel thing, before we get to the big one, because I think you know what the big one is.
Oh yeah.
So apparently, there's plans for a Wolverine anthology series on Disney Plus.
That sounds cool.
So basically, the whole idea behind that is Kevin Feige wants to naturally and slowly introduce the X-Men and mutants.
Yeah.
Instead of just, X-Men movie.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Wants to build it in the universe, see how it works in the MCU.
Yeah.
Because the MCU has such an established narrative and lore that it would be weird to say, mutants?
Yeah, suddenly mutants.
And they've just not been involved in any major global event.
Somehow there are mutants now.
Professor X, like, they saw the news about Thanos attacking. They were like, Professor X just told them all, nah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's not our business. But apparently, so the Wolverine anthology series, which I think is perfect for his character.
Yeah.
And it would be cool to see. So it's going to adapt some of his different arcs. I think it's going to be kind of like a, what show does this? I was just thinking about it. But like we're one season, it's a story, and then the next season.
Oh yeah, True Detective did that.
True Detective,
Fargo does that.
Westworld, maybe.
No,
do they do that?
No, I don't think so. I've never watched Westworld though.
I think they do that a little bit.
I don't know.
But anyways, so apparently the first season will reportedly adapt Marvel's famous Weapon X comics arc.
Of course.
So
naturally for the first season.
I mean, that's not exactly his origin.
Yeah, but it's the most well-known, it's one of the more well-known,
it's a well-known storyline.
Aspects of his backstory.
No, but I think that'll be cool. These stories will all take place in the MCU. Nick Santos says. He's from that hashtag show, reporter. He said, I was told that the Weapon X story takes place in the 80s. Okay. We haven't really seen MCU in the 80s, besides WandaVision for a little bit, but that wasn't really, that didn't count.
Not in the 80s, not other than WandaVision, no.
But that was like fake 80s.
Yeah.
But I think that could be cool. That could definitely be cool.
I think it'd be very cool. I would love to see
I've also heard
Wolverine
rumors
back.
that Marvel supposedly wants Hugh Jackman back. I don't know.
I would be surprised if they actually got him back.
I mean, I know he was just burnt out. Not because he didn't like the character. I mean, like, Logan was amazing, and
yeah,
Wolverine was fine, the one in Japan.
Yeah.
And
it was,
some of the other X-Men
the Wolverine,
movies.
I actually thought the Wolverine was really good until the third act.
Yeah, that's when it became...
It just devolves into...
Another superhero movie.
But the first two acts were actually, I thought, really good.
Yeah. But I think, I mean, if they made it interesting enough, Hugh Jackman might want to do it, but it's just such a toll on his body. I mean, he's getting in his later 50s now. Like, I just don't see it happening. A fan casting that I always thought would be cool, a little unorthodox, but hear me out. Daniel Radcliffe. I'm not joking.
No. Okay.
I think he could do it.
I would absolutely give him a shot.
He's short,
but it's really...
They could get him ripped. Marvel always does that.
It's weird to think about, though.
It's weird to think about because he was Harry Potter.
He is actually a really good actor.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
And he could definitely do it.
Yeah.
It's in his ability.
I don't doubt that he could do it.
And Marvel,
it's
they can get him ripped. They can give him the hairdo, give him a scruffy beard, give him a cigar.
Yeah.
It would take time to get used to, but that's one of the fan castings that I've always thought would be cool. Because I love it when Marvel takes an unconventional actor and then puts him in a role. Like Paul Rudd with Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt with Star-Lord,
Definitely.
I could also see what's his name? He was in The Kingsman.
Taron Egerton.
Yes.
He
could
one
be a
I've
good
heard
Wolverine.
people throw around. He's got the build
He's got the bill. Yeah.
for it, and he's also a good actor.
No, we need someone that's distinctly short.
While we're on the topic
Because
of
Wolverine's supposed to be short,
of
not 6'3".
X-Men characters in the MCU and unorthodox actors, I have an idea
What's that?
for Professor X and Magneto. Hear me out.
I feel like we've already done this.
John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell.
Who would be who, though?
John C. Reilly is absolutely Professor X,
Okay. Yeah, he can do the bald better, I think.
and Will Ferrell is Magneto. Yeah,
They're about the right age for it now,
They're about
too.
the right age.
So
you know,
I could get behind that,
that'd be
definitely.
amazing.
Danny DeVito is Wolverine. What am I thinking?
Yeah. Well, what if we just go that route and get the entire It's Always Sunny cast as X-Men characters?
You know, that's funny you say that. It's not X-Men, but I saw a fan casting for the Fantastic Four. I can't remember exactly who was who, but here's what I remember. Danny DeVito is the Thing.
Of course. So that's a good, yeah.
Charlie Day is the Human Torch.
Okay.
Rob McElhenney, or I don't know,
McKennelly.
he
McHanley. Something like that. I can
He-
remember.
is Mr. Fantastic.
Okay.
Dee is the Invisible Woman.
Of course.
I assume she'll always be invisible if this is always sunny.
Yeah.
And then Glenn Howerton as Dr. Doom. Dennis.
Yes. Yeah. I was
And
saying,
Dr.
like,
Doom pulls the Dennis system on the
if
Fantastic
we were
Four.
to do like X-Men, Glenn Howerton, I think, would be Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
Danny as Wolverine.
Yeah. Or Charlie.
Or Charlie as
I
Wolverine.
could see Charlie as Wolverine. I could actually...
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but I could see him as Wolverine.
I think Danny would
If
be
they
better
went the
though.
funny route.
Yeah, Danny would be. Well, it would have to be the funny route for any of these characters.
Yeah.
D.
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey, probably. Yeah.
Or she could be the bird guy.
Angel.
No, there's literally
Oh.
there's literally an X-Men guy that is a bird. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if Google will do the hard work for me. No, that's Angel. Yeah, Beak.
Beak.
Born in Rotterdam, Netherlands, Beak developed his powers at puberty. His body changed into that of a humanoid bird form with a beaked face, bulbous eyes, wing-like arms, gave him the ability to fly, albeit clumsily. Talons on his hands and feet and double-jointed knees. And he's literally a bird person. That's his mutant power. He's a bird.
Is a bird.
So you could adapt it where it's a female, or not even do that. Just have her be that character.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that'd be fitting.
I'm thinking.
No,
Rob,
Caitlin
I'm
Olsen's
thinking
awesome.
Rob McKennelly
She's not a bird.
is the Beast,
No,
but you
he's
just paint him blue.
blue face him.
Just, big fat liar. Like
I
blue
could see
face.
that, but I could see him playing a really dumb version of Professor X.
Yeah.
Just make him come across as an idiot
Yeah.
that runs a child army. Because that's what he does.
He does. Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, Wolverine anthology series, that could be good. I'm
Sounds-
excited.
Sounds fun.
I'm excited to see who they get. Speaking of Disney Plus series, and if you have non-Marvel stuff, please. I have a DC thing.
I do have a couple little tidbits I want to throw out, but they're not like
Well, you can throw
Big-
those out.
big talking points.
Throw them out there.
Yeah, so the rumors popping up now of a Knights of the Old Republic remake. These are both video game related news.
A proper remake
A
would be
proper
pretty amazing.
I think these rumors are to be taken with a grain of salt. More than a grain of salt, probably a whole box of salt.
So
But
you should take them somewhat seriously.
yeah,
Is that what you're saying? A box of salt's worth.
yeah. There's a I don't know.
You know those with the girl with the umbrella. What are they called? My voice cracking a lot on this one.
So yeah, I don't know
What
how
are they
serious these
called?
rumors are, but it's interesting. They're popping up again. Also, There are rumors of Nintendo and Xbox doing some sort of deal together. There's been
I'll believe that when I see it
Well,
because
there's been-
Nintendo is not open to that.
Yeah,
usually.
so it's popping up. People don't know what it is.
Are we gonna get a Mario Master Chief like crossover thing?
I don't know. That'd be cool.
Master Chief and Smash Bros. Is that what they're doing?
That would be cool.
That'd be perfect.
I'd be behind that. But I mean, one of the rumors was that Nintendo and Xbox might be doing something with Game Pass, but Nintendo also came out like yesterday and said, no, we are not doing anything with other party
right.
stuff like that. But what's sparking these rumors of something possibly going down is a lot of Xbox promotional videos have had Nintendo stuff in the background recently.
Oh, really?
Like Nintendo Switches and stuff sitting on shelves in the background.
That's interesting.
Like purposely placed there as decoration and shit.
So they're just gonna tag team on Sony.
Yeah, maybe they're just doing that. They're just teaming up to take down
because
Sony
the PS5 is the most. I'm serious. The PS5 is the highest selling console in America in history.
Killing it, yeah.
Literally, it's sold more than any other console,
and
a lot of that's due to all the freaking bots that bought them all out.
Yeah, well, it's the PS5 is doing really well. The new Xbox is doing fine, better than the Xbox One did at launch.
Yeah, the Xbox One took time to get traction.
But I mean, Microsoft hurt the reputation with the last generation of customer and gamer relations and all that stuff.
Well, that and just exclusives in general. But it looks like they're gonna have some good exclusives. Obsidian, or I think they're still Obsidian.
Yeah.
They're coming out with a like fantasy game along the lines of Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Honestly, with their track record, it could potentially be better than what Bethesda puts out.
I'm excited for that. Yeah, I mean,
I forget what it's called.
Xbox is doing well now, better than they were last generation, but they've not been able to catch up to Sony yet. And I'm not sure they will be able to.
Speaking of, since you mentioned Nintendo earlier, I forget exactly what the situation was, but there was a Mario and a Legend of Zelda series planned for Netflix.
I've heard about
a Nintendo Netflix deal. Well, rumors. Well, it's not even a rumor. They shut it down, but we don't know exactly why. But the rumors is Nintendo didn't like the script, or they didn't like the direction that they were taking with the series, and they canceled both of them.
Oh, that's a shame. I really
Nintendo
want to see something
bad
Mario.
at like being a business.
I want to see a Mario thing. I did not know this.
I mean, I love the Switch. I love the games. Nintendo has great games and stuff, but they're weirdly not modern as a gaming company.
Do you know? I found this out yesterday.
Yeah, what's that?
Do you know when Nintendo was founded?
Like
1889.
89, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a card company.
They were a card company.
Playing cards.
I didn't know how old of a company they were.
Yeah.
Anyway, but speaking of Netflix, another tidbit of news: The Witcher season 2 has finished filming recently.
It's wrapped
within the next
I think that's Henry Cavill's best role so far.
I think it's amazing.
I mean, I haven't seen too many of his movies, but or whatever.
I think I like Henry Cavill a lot, and I
think that shows more of his acting chops. And
season 1 it was not amazing. It had some issues with
pacing. It was poorly paced. It was cool.
They don't do a good job explaining the timeline stuff to you because it's all out of order.
It just jumps too,
and they do a terrible job explaining that.
You really have it. The show expects you.
Fans though, it really
no. Here's what I'll say.
Mark.
Here's what I'll say about The Witcher. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I was confused a lot. I had to go back and rewatch stuff, but I didn't really feel bothered by doing that because it was so cool. Yeah. Well filmed.
I think the next season is going to be less jumbled.
That's what I've heard. It's picking up from the end of this season.
Yeah, because the first season was they're adapting a book.
Yeah,
versus the video games are continuing the end of the books.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first season was adapting a book. I don't remember which book it was. The book is all just short stories about these characters.
Okay.
Mainly Geralt and Yennefer.
Yeah, that's why the first season felt so disconnected.
Yeah, so they were
was
adapting the book, but also throwing in the stuff about Ciri to try to set up the story for the second season, which is adapting a more straightforward book.
Good.
So, but it's finished filming. It is coming out this year.
Nice. Speaking of things that finished filming, apparently Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, directed by Sam Raimi, which we'll get to him. I think it's wrapped from what I've heard.
Very cool.
The Batman's wrapped with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
I'm excited for it. There was this funny rumor going around that Robert didn't want to work out. And he was like making like sugar pasta or like whatever while he was in quarantine. But apparently that was a lot of people don't understand is, dry British humor. He was talking about how he doesn't want to work out and stuff and like how it's not necessary. And he did have a good point about how like James Dean and stuff, they weren't, actors back then weren't ripped or anything. But he worked out, we know. But and if he didn't, it really doesn't matter all that much as long as he gives a great performance because they can CG stuff. They can make the suit, make him look, In fact, I don't think he's going for like a big giant of a man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's tall, but I think he is kind of going for a kind of more not scrawny, but kind of unkempt, like not really taking care of Batman. Like you can tell he doesn't eat enough, like whatever. Like I'm just really excited for his take on the Batman. It looks like it's gonna be one of the darker versions. Scarier Batman. That's what it looks like from the trailers. It's gonna be
Sounds like a
and I love his car, the Batmobile in it.
yeah.
Apparently it's a modified Barracuda, like 71 Barracuda.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's just a muscle car. It's just a car again.
Yeah. I'm
Not a weird
I'm really
take.
excited for it. It seems like a really cool take.
Yeah. And it's gonna apparently I mean, they're probably just pulling this out of their ass. But it's gonna take place on Earth 2. So it's its own thing, separate from
Nice.
the DCU. But they didn't have to say that.
No.
Because DC
It's
has
pretty-
always been doing movies that aren't connected to the DCU.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. It's not connected to the
I mean,
DCU.
Joker wasn't connected to anything.
Yeah, they didn't have to explain that.
No, I don't know why they feel the need to explain it now. But it's probably because of the Toxic Snyder fans.
Yeah.
Anyways. So yeah, that's wrapped. And I'm definitely excited for that. What else? There was another The Flash has begun filming.
Ooh.
Or at least they've begun filming the parts with Michael Keaton in it, reprising his role as Batman.
I'm excited for that.
And
Michael Keaton.
I can't remember if we talked about it on the show or not, but off recording, we have talked about the idea and the rumor that Michael Keaton is going to play old Bruce in a Batman Beyond series or movie.
Yeah.
Most likely a HBO Max series.
I think we've talked about it on the
That
show.
would be really, really freaking cool.
Love to see that.
That's what I've always wanted.
Yeah.
Speaking of old comic book actors coming to reprise their roles, Alfred Molina
Yeah.
is definitively coming back as Doc Ock.
Yeah, we know it for sure now.
Well, we pretty much knew it, but the man himself has said it,
Yeah.
which I think he's under flack from Marvel. I bet Kevin Feige's pissed. But so yeah, Alfred Molina was invited to reprise his role as villainous Otto Octavius in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Nice.
He was told to keep it quiet. It leaked. We don't know how or who or what or the circumstances that it leaked, but it leaked like a few months ago. Like way back. I think we talked about it in the last news roundup, actually, back in November. So,
Yeah,
But-
yeah. That was a while back.
so in an interview with Variety, Molina, he stated, when we were shooting it, we were all under orders not to talk about it because it was supposed to be some great big secret. But it's all over the internet. I actually describe myself as the worst kept secret in Hollywood. He said, it was wonderful coming back to reprise his role. It was very interesting going back to after 17 years to play the same role given that in the intervening years, I now have 2 chins, a waddle, crow's feet, and a slightly dodgy lower back. What are you looking at there?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing?
No,
but so when the actor asked John Watts, the director of No Way Home, and he's been a director for the previous Spider-Man movies, which is good. I think it's good to have the same director.
I think that's
for
really
a series.
important.
At least a trilogy, if it's possible, because so it has a unified, put together story.
We mentioned earlier the Mortal Kombat movies, so how the first one was pretty rad,
Yeah,
and then the second one was not.
I think
rad.
the director went on to do.
Yeah, so the director had done his other thing he's known for is the Resident Evil movies.
Oh yeah,
and he's done a lot of the. He stepped away from the Mortal Kombat. He was offered to direct it and stepped away from it. And that movie, the second Mortal Kombat Annihilation, is it? Is what inspired him to not step away from Resident Evil as director, because he didn't want to let it fall to someone else.
I mean,
not that the Resident Evil movies are very good, but
they're fun.
They're
at
okay.
least
They're okay.
I mean,
As
they're
far
not
as
really Resident Evil.
As far as video game movies go, they're some of the better ones.
Apparently,
I guess.
Resident Evil is getting like a Netflix series, I think.
Huh.
So that'll be interesting. But anyways, so back to Alfred Molina. So he asked John Watts how the movie would bring back Doc Ock, since, as he pointed out, I died. Well, we don't actually see him die.
Very astute observation, character actor Alfred Molina.
We technically don't see him die on screen officially.
No,
we see him sinking into the river with the sun.
It's just assumed.
It's assumed, but we don't see it happen. So there is room for them to pull something wacky. So John Watts said, in this universe, no one really dies. And that's true. So, okay, there's a whole paragraph about Spider-Man 2. We already know about that. Yeah, it's probably still the greatest Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. And I love Doc Ock, and it's awesome he's coming back. So, so Molina's concerns were more practical. He talked about how they were going to deal with the fact that he's 67. He just looked at me and said, "Did you see what we did to Bob Downey Jr. and Sam Jackson in Captain America: Civil War? They used CGI to de-age Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, and it was really good, but it was for a short scene. Samuel L. Jackson, it was throughout the movie, so that did kind of prove they could do it for a whole movie.
And it looked pretty good in Captain Marvel, I thought.
Yeah,
they didn't overdo it.
Molina also cited Martin Scorsese's The Irishman as an example of digital de-aging and its limitations.
Yeah.
I do have qualms with The Irishman.
It's a good movie, but it's
bloated.
Yeah.
But besides that, with the de-aging, Robert De Niro fights and moves like an old man.
Yeah.
Still. He's supposed to look young. And like that scene where he like beats up the guy out of the restaurant or his restaurant or whatever.
Yeah, he's still still feels
it's
old.
Hilarious.
He still feels old.
But they said they can really get away with it easy because he has the tentacles.
Yeah.
That's how he moves around most of the time. He's not walking around and fighting people.
Doc Ock's not like...
He uses the tentacles for everything. Yeah. So I think with that, and hell, they could even put his face on like another guy if they wanted to. They can do that now. But with the tentacles, I mean, I think it should work well. And just smooth out his wrinkles and stuff and whatever, because he is going to be that Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and later on in the interview, they say how he gets pulled from that moment in the river.
Nice.
And people have been speculating whether or not will Doctor Strange just come in, pull some shit, and be like, oh, we need you for a thing. Or some people are theorizing, which I think is a long shot. But then again, since Sam Raimi's doing the new Doctor Strange, he could have input on this and allow it to happen. because he hated Spider-Man 3 so much. He hated having to include Venom and all the villains. He wanted it to just be Sandman, pretty much, with New Goblin in the background.
Yeah. New Goblin to finish off that story arc,
Yeah.
basically.
They were supposed to just fight Sandman together,
Yeah.
not Sandman and Venom.
That would have been so much better.
And Sandman was a pretty good villain, I think.
I liked Sandman.
In fact, I think all of Raimi's villains, except for aside from Venom, are good villains.
Yeah.
Even Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, because he's just so classic, cheesy, just like, I'll get you next time, Spider-Man.
I love character actor Willem Dafoe.
I love it. Yeah. I love him. Yeah, he's great. He's insane. In fact, it's a shame they didn't just paint him green, because that man already looks like a goblin.
That would have been amazing.
But some people are thinking maybe the sun, the star he created, the fusion thing, when it was sucking everything up, it wasn't just melting things. I mean, that's what it appeared to do. Some people are saying, what if by just coincidence and accident, because they can go back and change it now if they want, it's a portal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it looks like it's just melting things, but maybe he gets sucked in, somehow survives, and ends up in the MCU or something. They could do that. Also, this is an opportunity because it's also rumored that Andrew Garfield and Tobey will be reprising their roles in this film.
I'd love that.
Although we haven't heard anything from them, probably because they would be put on a blacklist if they revealed the information. But there's another rumor. Now, this one, take with a grain of salt. There's not much to back it. But reportedly, Sony is in talks with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire to do a Spider-Man 4.
Oh, yeah.
In that universe.
You told me about this. Yeah.
Or they might even just retcon Spider-Man 3 and do the proper Spider-Man 3. I could see that happening.
That would be cool.
And here's... the Snyder Cut proved that kind of thing can happen.
Yeah.
Especially if it gives a streaming service and a new exclusive thing.
Yeah, there's enough money in that now to do stuff
Like imagine
that.
we got Spider-Man 3 to Raimi cut or something, where they just take the Venom stuff out, maybe add some new scenes, and just cut it where it works with Sandman and New Goblin, which New Goblin's such a lame name. He's a lame character.
New Goblin.
I like James Franco. He's funny. It's funny seeing them fight each other and like emo Peter and like it's like
Yeah.
Bully Maguire. You know what? I want him to be Bully Maguire. If he shows up, I want him to bully Tom Holland.
Yeah, Bully Maguire with Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield. Who Andrew Garfield, Peter Parker is a little bit of a bully.
Yeah.
So just two Peter Parkers bullying Tobey Maguire.
No, here's honestly what I think would be the perfect scenario.
Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland.
Yeah. This is something I've thought about. So if you bring him back through whatever circumstances, Doctor Strange stuff, whatever. Here's how I see it. Andrew Garfield never stopped being Spider-Man. He's only Spider-Man now.
Yeah.
And maybe you could have him be like a bad Spider-Man type thing, or at least a very edgy Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because Gwen Stacy died and all that stuff, and he killed her technically, the web. So he never stopped being Spider-Man. He's like obsessed with it. You could do that with him. Tobey, Peter Parker, quit being Spider-Man. He's retired. He's washed up. He's like old man Peter Parker now.
Yeah.
Because after the events of Spider-Man 3, it was a big downer. Like, that series ended on a horrible note.
Oh, yeah.
For his character.
I mean,
well, for all the characters.
I mean, like, if you...
Except for J. Jonah Jameson, he was fine.
Oh, yeah. But watching, like...
I mean, one...
Into the Spider-Verse, watching that...
He could be like a Peter B. Parker type thing.
Peter B. Parker is implied to be our Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, Tobey.
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda Tobey.
Yeah, a little bit. There's inspiration there. There's even the train scene. But they show that with the Peter Parker, too.
Yeah.
It's kind of a mix, but yeah, if they have like Toby be like washed up, he retired, he hung up, in Spider-Man 2, he got rid of the mask, and, he lost his powers or whatever because he was having performance issues. You could have that where, since he's already done that, he probably wouldn't be far from doing it again, but like permanently now.
Yeah.
So I think that could be a cool way to do it. Or you could go the easy route, completely retcon Spider-Man 3, and just pull Toby from Spider-Man 2 from the climax.
Yeah.
Pull him and Doc Ock.
I'm not sure which one I'd prefer. I think
Part of the first option would be a better for his character.
It'd be more interesting.
And like if they do a Spider-Man 4, quote unquote, or whatever they're going to call it, that could like redeem his character, give him a good final story.
It would be more interesting, but I also want to see just
also if they
Toby.
just retcon Spider-Man 3 and it's just like prime Toby, like because
like,
he's not that old. I mean,
I'd like to see that. Yeah,
I don't even think you would have to de-age him that bit. Just have him shave and maybe just remove some of his, put on some makeup on him or whatever. Because he's in his 40s, but you could pass it off. I mean, he was already like 30 in the first one.
Yeah, he's 45 now.
Well, he wasn't that old in the first one.
Oops.
But also, and I watched that first Spider-Man movie recently. It's a classic. But all the high school students are like 38.
Yeah.
And the teacher actually looks as old as him, if not younger. I just found that funny. And like the scene where he fights Flash in the high school, it's like, oh, 2 grown men fighting each other in a high school. Call the cops. But yeah, that
makes me excited. The
hell,
potential for this.
just bringing Alfred Molina back as Doc Ock. I mean, that's enough to make me happy. That's gonna be awesome.
I love Alfred Molina.
And now that we know, unless he's manipulating us and actually like lying to us, knowing that we're gonna get the same Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, be amazing because he's my favorite villain from that trilogy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Him and the Michael Keaton's Vulture, they're right up there. Like I can't say who I like more though.
I
think Michael Keaton was more intimidating because he didn't need like the fancy like suit to be like scary.
Yeah, but Alfred Molina,
because he just like pulled a gun out.
I think Alfred Molina does really good justice to the character.
Well, what I love about Alfred Molina's Doc Ock and just how that character is written in the movie and everything, and I love Sam Raimi's work, but that's besides the point. He is genuinely someone who believes he's doing the right thing, that he's a scientist, and he ends up being a mad scientist essentially. And then the AI thing with the tentacles, which is still kind of vague.
Yeah.
I do love the idea that he immediately went to, I'm going to install this weird spine tentacle thing with needles going straight into my spine. First try in front of all these people.
Yeah.
It's like, you could just use a PS3 controller or something.
Yeah.
Or a joystick. But no, let's inject this in my body in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if it failed and he just like died. Or just like was paralyzed and was like, shit.
It was canceled.
You can leave now. This is canceled.
Demonstration canceled.
But yeah, and I love, he's just a great villain, and he's such a good representation of that character. I think that's all I've got, unless you got some other tidbits.
No, I don't have anything else. There is one other piece of news we should cover.
All right.
But you know what it is.
Is it the serious real one?
It's the serious real one. So just released this week the trailer for what?
I thought you were going to talk about, the big court case.
Oh, no. No.
Okay, trailer for what?
Shang-Chi and
Oh
the
yeah,
Legend of the
duh.
Ten Rings.
Oh my god, I almost forgot about
Dumbass.
Shang-Chi. Jesus.
Okay, I know what you were talking about. The guy who killed George Floyd's been convicted. Good.
On all charges.
On all charges.
yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yay. But we didn't want to get too serious in this. So no, Shang-Chi. We're going to talk about Shang-Chi. At least real quick.
What do you call a cop that's been convicted of murder?
What?
A good start.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to use
I mean, don't want to get too political.
I'm going to use that very liberally.
But no, I don't think it's that political to say everyone should be held accountable for their actions regardless of who they are, what they are.
Yeah.
If they're a cop, whatever. Everyone should fall under the law.
He unjustly killed someone. He should be held accountable.
Yeah, and it was very obvious.
And he is being held accountable, and that is good.
Yeah, that's how justice works. Anyways, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I'm psyched.
It looks so fucking cool.
It's a new Marvel thing. It looks unique. The cinematography looks different.
Yeah, it looks.
and-
It doesn't look like Marvel.
It's a C-rated character. Well, I'm not saying Shang-Chi's a bad character, but he's an unknown character to the masses.
Yeah.
It's an Asian character. It's awesome to see an Asian superhero film. We really haven't had one.
So I have a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
You being the Marvel expert here.
I don't know too much about Shang-Chi, but I know enough to give you a basis.
So based off of the trailer, what I know about Shang-Chi, I don't know a ton about him, but in the comics, he is the son of a Fu Manchu. That is
Very racist stereotype
that
character.
is not a joke.
They
That is-
literally colored him yellow.
Yeah.
Marvel wasn't always progressive or whatever.
They're obviously changing that. Is he the son of the Mandarin?
In this version, he's the son of the Mandarin, which I think works out.
Yeah.
Also, the Mandarin.
Yeah, they're properly doing the
We've
Mandarin
had two
now.
different Mandarins so far, both of them fake. We had the Ben Kingsley
Although I
one,
do like Ben Kingsley.
which I love because he's just an actor.
Yeah, I love that.
And he was a very stereotypical. He played the part of the stereotypical like Osama bin Laden, like terrorist, leader. And then you have Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce
Was the extremist flame lava guy.
Adrian Killian, or
And then he
whatever.
had dragon tattoos, and then he yelled at Tony Stark because Tony Stark. Well, the whole thing was Tony Stark left him on the rooftop.
Yeah,
He pissed him because Tony Stark was a dick.
he was angry at Tony Stark, became a psychopath, created extremists,
And then he
wanted revenge.
he took his shirt off. Well, he didn't take his shirt off, but it melted off. He fought Iron Man for a bit, and also that movie's fine. It's fun. It's all right. But anyways, he has two dragon tattoos, and then he yells, "I'm the real Mandarin." It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah. that was a whole thing where like
That's what's really disappointed me.
that's one of the big things that
Honestly,
pissed people off about that movie.
That's one of the most disappointing parts of the MCU, that we never got to see Iron Man fight his arch nemesis. The Mandarin is Iron Man's arch nemesis.
Yeah.
More than Ironmonger, more than Crimson Dynamo. It's the Mandarin.
Yeah. And I guess what they're doing now is
it's cool they made Thanos his
when
arch nemesis.
Killian
but-
says I am the real Mandarin, what he really is meaning that like, oh, that guy we hired was
'Cause he
fake.
orchestrated the whole
I
thing,
was
whatever.
behind it.
But the real Mandarin
But
is
the
Shang-Chi's
real
father, and he's in this.
Yeah.
And this movie's called Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah.
And it looks like they've changed it in this where they're bracelets
Yeah,
instead.
they're not rings
Because
anymore.
that's too similar to an Infinity Gauntlet. That's probably why they changed
Makes
it.
sense. I don't blame them for that.
Because, another villain with magical gems that he puts on his hands. That's been there, done that. Except the Mandarin's rings are actually like alien technology. One of them has a flame thing, fire power. One of them's disintegration beam. One of them's like a vortex.
Yeah.
One of them can
They're
wipe out all light. Like some of them have
They're
cool,
pretty
unique powers.
powerful. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like one of them is like anti-light, and one of them creates light.
One of them has gravity manipulation, and
Yeah.
one of them has molecular
Yeah,
manipulation.
there's some reality manipulation, but lowercase reality,
lowercase, not Wanda.
like change your clothes,
yeah,
stuff like that.
like small things.
Create gas in the air.
Yeah, I mean you
out
can
of the
do things
molecules
with
in
it,
the
but it's
air.
not like it's the 80s now. No.
Yeah.
And that's probably why he's lived for so long, because like Mandarin's supposed to be like thousands of years old or something like that. He's been around since ancient China.
Yeah.
But he's his father. And Shang-Chi, what's the actor's name? He's not been in a lot. I think it's
Simu Liu.
Lu. Yeah.
I don't know if that's pronounced
He's
right.
a true martial artist. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly what he specializes in, but he obviously knows how to fight, and you can see that in the trailer. It looks like it's going to have great fight choreography.
Oh, the choreography looks amazing.
Yeah.
I also noticed I showed this I thought this too, and I showed this to a trailer to my girlfriend, and she immediately said that doesn't look like a Marvel movie because they have a different take on the cinematography. In
Yeah,
this
and
one.
I think that's good.
So I did look it up. The cinematographer for Shang-Chi is Bill Pope, who he is most well known for The Matrix,
Nice.
Baby Driver, and Spider-Man 2.
There you go.
Yeah, and some other stuff. Jungle Book, Attila Battle Angel,
Nice.
some other good. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. He did that.
Oh, awesome.
So it's same cinematographer.
It's going to be good.
So,
It's
and
gonna be really
that's
good.
one of the big criticisms of the MCU is that a lot of the movies have a very similar style cinematography. Like,
I mean, they
wise.
play it safe.
And this just looks cool.
But no, it looks really good. And not that the MCU cinematography is bad or anything, but it is samey. You know what you to expect, kind of. Even if
Yeah.
it's like completely different characters or fight scenes.
Similar style cinematography, though.
Similar
And not-
vibe.
It's not bad cinematography. It's just it's.
I mean, I think that in a way that's actually helped make the MCU feel like a coherent universe.
it does help. Yeah.
But it will be nice to see a fresh take,
Yeah.
a fresh vision.
Also in the movie, Ronnie Chang is going to be in the movie. He is hilarious. He's the Asian guy on the Daily Show.
Oh, yeah. His stand-up is
He
amazing.
is so good. And
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see him in
Also,
this.
Awkwafina's in it. I think she's overrated and she's not that funny, but she has to be in like in every Asian movie.
Yeah, I don't really care.
She's fine. I mean, I don't have anything against her, but they use her as the comedic relief in every like.
yeah,
She was in Crazy Rich Asians. She was in
I'm pretty indifferent about her.
Love You Maybe or whatever, the one where Keanu Reeves showed up and like he got punched or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty indifferent about her.
I
just,
mean,
like I don't
I
want
have nothing against her.
I don't
It's
want to
just-
I don't want to shit on her,
Well,
but I also
I just
care.
don't think she's that funny.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but that's just me. If other people think she's funny, that's good. She was in Raya, The Last Dragon.
Yep.
She was Dragon. I haven't seen that. I don't plan on seeing it until it's free.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
on
pay
Disney
30
Plus.
I'm not gonna pay $30 for it.
Yeah.
It looks cool, but
Only pay $30 for Black Widow just for this podcast, to be honest.
yeah.
But yeah, Shang-Chi, what I can tell you about him, I think he does end up getting vague powers later on in comics, like duplication, where like he'll throw punches and then like 3 more punches will follow without him doing anything.
He does
But
get some powers, but for the most part,
most-
he's basically the Marvel version
historically-
of Bruce Lee.
He's Marvel's Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
He came out in the 70s during the Kung Fu craze. And
but I kind of like that about
what's
him, that
really
he's
cool
not-
about him, traditionally, he doesn't have any powers. He is just so amazing at Kung Fu.
Yeah, I like that about them. He's not super powered. He's just
Like he fought Captain America to a stalemate.
yeah.
Now
Well,
that's Marvel Captain America, who is weaker
yeah,
than MCU Cap.
but
Still.
I like that it's a character that he doesn't have powers. He is just really good,
Yeah.
and I like characters like that.
And there's I forget which arc it's called. I think it's like the Way of the Spider, or at least that's the technique. But he teaches Spider-Man martial arts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I think Spidey, he loses his spider sense or something, and he needs to learn how to actually fight because he's never really needed to know how to actually fight. Because when you can stop a train, lift a car, and when you're that strong, you don't need to know how to fight.
Yeah,
When you have webs and
but when
whatever.
you start fighting people who are also strong, knowing how to
Yeah,
fight
exactly.
helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he teaches him they create their own style together, the Way of the Spider.
Nice.
So that would be cool to see Shang-Chi interact with Spider-Man in this universe, which they definitely could do.
That'd be very cool.
But what I also like about Shang-Chi, he's helped out, he's fought with the Avengers and stuff. He's fought with many teams. He's fought with like the West Coast Avengers. He's been in the Defenders. He's been in, I think he did a run with the Fantastic Four for a little bit. But what I really like about him, he's very independent. Like he is Shang-Chi, Master Kung Fu. He's not really affiliated with anyone. He'll help and join in for
Yeah.
big things.
If he feels he needs to help, he'll help. But
He's And he doesn't have like a secret identity. He's just Shang-Chi.
He's just the really good kung fu guy
Yeah, he's the good kung fu guy.
who's just
Um,
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's a really cool character. I'm really excited to see him move. I'm just excited for I'm excited for a new
Just a
MCU
new character?
movie. I'm excited for a new character. Black Widow looks cool, but it's more of a character we've seen a lot. It doesn't look unique in its style.
No.
This looks like a breath of fresh air for the MCU a little bit.
No, definitely.
This looks like it could be this.
I mean, movie-wise, at least. I
Yeah.
mean, WandaVision was a breath of fresh. I mean, they are doing refreshing good
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, but
movie-wise-
as far as movies go, and I
Now-
feel like this could be.
We will be getting
This
the
fa-
Eternals next,
yeah.
I think. No? Yeah? I don't know. They've
Something
been
like that.
switched around because of COVID.
Yeah,
I think the Eternals is next. Or no, that might be not until 2022 because if Shang-Chi comes out in September, which is awesome, it's coming out this year. Spider-Man comes out in December. There's not much room for another one.
the Eternals is
Unless
according
they
to
shoved it in
Google,
November.
It's slated for November 5th.
Damn, we're going to get 3 in a row.
Will we get that? I don't know.
I know, right?
But
I
I'm
know.
excited for that. I mean, it's got
I'm worried.
Kit Harington and Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah.
I like both of them.
No, the Eternals will be really
Um,
cool because it's going to explore the like ancient history of the MCU and like we're going to see like baby Thanos maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe not baby, but like teen Thanos. That'd be pretty good. Edgy Thanos.
yeah, that would be cool.
And we'll see the Celestials and how they manipulated humans to essentially allow superheroes to exist.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
excited back to
for Eternals,
Shang-Chi.
but
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun.
It seems like the type of breath of fresh air that like when the first Guardians of the Galaxy came out.
Yeah,
That like
and it's also great. To,
something new. Thank
well,
God.
It's great to see more Asian representation,
Yeah, I think this looks like
and it's a
gonna-
perfect time to release this movie with the whole Asian hate thing. I mean, stop Asian hate.
Yeah.
Fuck you for hating anybody.
Yeah. So
But yeah, stop Asian hate.
stop Asian hate. Yeah.
But yeah, it looks dope. The Death Dealers also looks like going to be a secondary villain. I don't know too much about him or her. We don't really know
I don't
who
know,
it
I
is.
Don't know anything about that.
But it's a cool design. But yeah, a lot of that kung fu exploitation in the 70s, I need to go back, learn more about that in Marvel.
yeah.
But yeah, it looks really good. Hopefully it is really good. Hopefully it doesn't just look nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah.
it has a good story,
Hopefully.
you know. But either way, it'll be fun. It's new, you know,
Yeah.
refreshing. So
Yeah. Anything else to touch on?
Oh,
I don't have anything else.
There's footage I showed you. There's footage of Oscar Isaac prepping and like training for Moon Knight,
Oh yeah.
learning martial arts and
he's-
fighting and stunts.
He's a great
He's a
choice.
great actor,
Yeah.
anyways. So he's gonna do
I'm
well.
excited for
And
that.
Moon Knight's one of my favorite characters in the Marvel universe.
He's a cool character.
I've been reading the Mark Houston run on him. From 2006 2009, and the first like 8 issues are just amazing.
Nice.
The art style changes, which kind of, I mean, it's still good, but I love the art style in the beginning.
Yeah.
But we do plan on doing something comic book related,
Yeah.
like comic book dual review or something in the future. But we have finals coming up and everything, so that's why we did this, something easy. Plus, I think it is good to do a recap on the news after, you know, a
Yeah.
few months, every
And
once in a while.
yeah, so we got some good episodes coming up. We're gonna have another Godzilla commentary coming up soon.
Either within the next coming weeks.
Yeah.
We won't say which one it is. So
No, it's a
That'll be
surprise. You'll
surprise.
have to wait. But it was a good one.
But we did warn you that we are gonna be watching a lot of Godzilla movies
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're just fun. But anyways, that was an episode.
Yep. That was
Odd
an
Drunk News
episode.
Network. You all have an amazing day, night, weekend, morning, week, month,
year.
And if you watch this 40 years in the future, let us know
Yeah.
if the world has gone to hell or not. If you're watching this in like a Mad Max truck or in a bunker with John Krasinski, let us know.
Yeah.
I don't know how you'll let us know. I don't know. Just
You'll figure it out.
you'll figure it out. It's up to you. You're the chosen one.
Yeah. All right. Well,
That's it.
That's a wrap. We should do that thing.
We should do that thing. Do that thing.
That we do at the end.
Do the thing that we do at the end of the thing.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do that thing.
All right. Doing that thing.
This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. The Odd Drunk Podcast recommends that you follow their Instagram and join their Facebook group for more fun content. To view all of our current available streaming and social media platforms, visit our Linktree in the description below. If you enjoy the show, it would be appreciated if you leave us a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts. The Odd Drunk Podcast is not responsible for any alcohol-related problems such as domestic disputes, bar fights, gnarly hangovers, driving under the influence, or regurgitation. Okay, Colton, you can roll the outro now.